Hey everyone, I'm Batekia and welcome to this week's video. Hello everyone! A few weeks ago, I asked you what other tutorial video you wanted me to do, and you all said a video tutorial about anatomy. Well, not all of you, but most of you. Since that entails a lot of different things, I figured I'd make this a series and break it down bit by bit. I did already make a hand tutorial video, but since I've gotten better at drawing hands and detailing of hands, I figured I'd remake a video of that soon. But for now, you'll have this video. This video is going to be showing you how to draw the male anatomy. So basically, this is a video for people who are new to anatomy and just need a little bit of help. Okay, so for anatomy, I'm a firm believer of using shapes to draw the human body over this method, which is just a bunch of circles and lines and sticks. I honestly hate it. I'll be showing you how I use shapes to draw the human body. So I'll keep the pose simple. For the head, I usually draw a couple circles and hope for the best for the skull. And then I actually draw an oval shape for the actual face of the person. For the neck, I do a cylinder shape. I also add the chest, which I mimic the shape of a rib cage for it. And for the stomach, I kind of do a rounded box shape. So it looks like a cylinder, but kind of boxy. For the shoulders, I do an oval. And for the bicep, I kind of make this chubby cylinder shape that slims down on the ends. The forearm, I kind of make the shape of a chicken leg, where it goes from thick to thin. So it kind of attaches to the wrist, it thins out over there. And for the hands, like I said, I would do for another video, but that's where it would continue on. For the lower half, the pelvis, I kind of make the shape of a pelvis in human anatomy. And for the thighs, I copy the similar shape of the forearm, where it goes from thick to thin, thick starting from the pelvis and thin going to the knees. And I use ovals for the kneecaps. The calves are also a similar shape, where they go from thick to thin, so thick from the kneecaps, thin to the ankles. For the foot, I kind of divide it into 3 parts, but I start off with this basic shape. I'll show you why I do that a little bit later, but for now, this is just the basic shape of it. Now for drawing the head of, the males, I like to do it like this, where the base, I draw the sides of the face, so where the cheekbones are, and I kind of meet them in the middle, where you normally would, except instead of kind of curving it together and having them attached to a slight curve, I leave a space so that way I can do a straight line across. Because typically men have wider chins, and it kind of gives them this more masculine shape to their face. When adding the neck, remember typically that guys have a wider neck, so I like to make sure that their necks attach to the jawline and go straight from there. So it's not thin, it's quite thick. And the main muscles on the neck, I don't know what they're called, but there's these two muscles that go from the jawline and they kind of connect to the clavicle. Those 2 lines also start on the jaw, as you can see. For positioning of facial features, I like to draw the hairline first, so I know where my hair starts, of course. And then I like to place 2 ovals where I want the eyes to be, using the classic T-shape guidelines to help me make sure that they're kind of symmetrical. And then I draw the ears. Remember that the nose kind of aligns from under the ears, and the mouth aligns with the jawline when it comes to drawing people. I won't go into details on how to draw eyes and lips and everything. I could do that in another video, because then this video would be way too long. So let me know if you're interested in that. Now on to the torso. After drawing the basic shape of the torso, it should look like this. I like to go in and add the traps. So they're next to the neck, and they kind of look like little triangles on the side of the neck. The neck muscles meet at the clavicle, and the clavicle connects to the shoulders. The chest is the shape that follows the rib cage. The hip kind of peeks out here. And for the abs, I follow this shape. It helps me get them right every time. You could take a screenshot of the basic shapes. I kind of left it here so you can get an idea. For the arms, I'm just going to show you where the main muscles are. Because of the basic shapes that we made, you kind of got all the details of the arms already. But I don't know the names of the muscles, so I'm just gonna draw it out where the muscles would be defined. Those could be bigger or smaller, but those are typically where the muscles are, and it's the reason why the arms are shaped the way they are. Now for the thighs, I like to start off by adding some cake. It's very important. I like to add it last. Here I'm showing how the hips of the male connect to the pelvis. For legs, I added the muscles and the knees. And the calves. Also adding shorts, because I'm not trying to get flagged for drawing a naked man. Now for the muscles, they're kind of shaped like this, just like the arms. I'm kind of drawing out where the shapes are, so you can kind of screenshot for reference if you ever need it. Now for calves, I've already done the basic shape. Again, most of it is already done with the shape that we've drawn, but I'm going to show you the details. I circled where the muscles are. For the ankles, I want you to remember that they are always on the outside of the legs at all times. So when your feet touch and they kind of connect together, they're all on both opposite ends of the ankle, because if not, then your ankle bones would be kicking. Now for the foot, as you remember, I mentioned how we'd come back to it. We split it up into 3 parts after doing the basic shape of it. I'm going to show you why. So on the back part of the foot is for the heel. The middle part is for the foot arch. And then the last bit on the front is where your toes would go. I'll do another video on adding details to that, but it could honestly help you start drawing feet more accurately and in different angles because you've split it up into basic shapes. Now that I've shown you in detail how each part of the body kind of looks and where the muscles are and the shapes I use to draw it, we're going to put it all together in the original sketch I did in the beginning of the video. So you can see I've just been adding everything that I showed you to this sketch, and in the end it looks like a person standing. Now these are just the basics of how I do anatomy. Of course, I can go into immense detail on muscle groups, angles, whenever the arms flex and everything, but I feel like that's something you kind of learn as you go, and it's better to teach, you know, the basics of it and a method that you can actually use as a template that'll help you get better as you draw more. So I hope you found this very helpful. As you can see, I'm showing you now that I'm using the method I just showed you to do some studies on poses, angles and gestures and everything. And literally everything I showed you is what I'm using here. So you can see it already looks a lot better just by using this technique. And I hope this encourages you to try it and to study anatomy, because honestly, it's really fun and it makes you feel more confident as an artist. So I hope you guys found this helpful. Let me know if you want any tutorial videos about hands, feet, anything else. I am planning on making a video to how to draw female bodies already, but for now I just left you with this. So that's all from me for this week. I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Bye now.